Underway at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium, and it's the big one, the gold medal match between Will Bailey of Great Britain and China's Yang Xiao. That is followed by an all-Chinese affair between Mao Xingjiang and Huang Wenjuan in Class 8, but our focus right now is going to be on that first match, the Class 7 match between Bailey and Yan. Bailey, the reigning Paralympic champion, of course, and Yang Xiao, well, the world #1, and the man who's lost just one game in 4 matches. The scene is set. We're about to get underway. We've just had a medal ceremony for a different category, and once that is done and dusted, we will see how the world #1 and the world #2 fare here at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. Such a change from having all the courts up and running to now having the medal matches, the focus just on one court, but these athletes used to this. They are used to being the centre of attention, and one of them will be the centre of attention a little bit later on the top step of the podium. The gold medal match, and we cannot wait. Just a couple of minutes before we get underway in this Class 7 gold medal match. That's coming up next here on Table 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men's singles Class 7 gold medal match.
男子シングルスクラス7決勝戦選手入場です。
Representing People's Republic of China.
Table 2 ready to get underway in this gold medal match. It's a Class 7 men's singles, 33 matches in, and we get to the last match, the most important of all. Yan Xiu against Will Bailey. World number 1 against world number 2. Bailey, the Paralympic gold medalist from Rio, of course. Yang Xiu, just 26 years of age. He will be the contender, that's for sure. Here comes Bailey, the 33-year-old. Gold in Rio, silver in London, guaranteed at least a silver. Always the showman. He has quite a lot of the British team, the players, some of the coaches and officials there to cheer him on. China have their contingent as well, so although we have no spectators, we have quite a good atmosphere already.
Final of the day.
Let's acknowledge our officials have done a sterling job throughout. From Malaysia, Pari Khalili Marandi.
Ludmila Gryaznova. Will Bailey, representing Great Britain, is the current Paralympic champion from Rio 2016.
All important
when his celebration went down in Paralympic history. He'll be aiming to retain the title.
Niceties out of the way.
In London 2012. Clearly, Will likes yellow as he picked up another card following his very tense semi-final victory yesterday.
Okay, we are ready to get underway. It's been a long time coming. They've had a lot of matches to get through with the round-robin phase as well here in Tokyo.
In Croatia. Since then,
Xiao
two European bronze,
Jushao province.
medal to his tally.
At bronze in Rio, he will be looking not to get a silver but to get a gold, and giving his form, you'd fancy his chances up against Will Bailey, the man who will never say never, a very intense competitor, and will be digging in, hoping to make it another gold and to retain his Paralympic title.
団体でもパラリンピックで2つの銅メダルなど活躍しました。 33歳ワールドランキング3位英国代表ベイリー選手です。
In terms of the matchup here, I mean, he's got to be the favourite, but of course, as you suggest, Bailey, of course, the defending champion, experience of the big stages, even at 33 years of age, and what he's been through. I mean, what all these athletes have been through in their life stories, but Bailey particularly, if you think of the last few years since winning that Paralympic gold in Rio and all the story around that, what he's been through, the ups and downs, to get back to this gold medal match again is an incredible achievement. An incredible achievement for all of them, as I say, to get through to these medal matches, but particularly, I think, for Bailey. Yan, you were alluding to, what about this progress? Just the one game dropped, very much the form player, the lefty, number 1 in the world, but Bailey's progress as well. I mean, the big highlight, obviously, is you suggest yourself, was the quarterfinal with Liao there, where he had to save match point in the 5th, and all the emotion, which seems to go around many of his matches at the end of it, with the reactions, celebrations as well. Part of what he's about, what he brings to the table.
Well, he collects yellow cards, like Christmas cards, doesn't he, really? Got another one from the umpire in that semi-final yesterday. Our umpires, as we mentioned, Pari Khalili Mirandi and Ludmila Gryaznova. And it's an interesting, will be an interesting match in terms of how these two line up. Bailey with perhaps a bit more mobility, but certainly Yan, a very clever practitioner around the table.
Yeah, I think Bailey's fitness as well is going to be called upon here, because the semi-final match was well, incredibly grueling in so many ways, and it's quite a tough turnaround from that. Not much recovery time for Bailey. Of course, Yan had a much simpler time of things. He has in his draw in general. So how Bailey responds, one more big effort from him in this Class 7. That's what he's going to be looking for. But Yan, is number 1 in the world, is definitely the favourite in many ways coming into this.
Yan Xiu against Will Bailey. It's the gold medal match, the final match in Class 7. And who knows how this will go. Will it go deep? You think it might well do. Well, all the razzmatazz of the entrance has died away. Now we're down to business. First few points always important. Set down your marker. Get in the face of your opponents.
Yeah, it's the best of 5 as well. It's the importance of a good start. Yan will know that. He's done that consistently through the week here. Bailey as well will be looking for that, trying to ride the momentum that he built up, of course, getting over the line in that semi-final, saving the match point.
It is a fascinating matchup. I mean, Bailey bouncing around the table, but Yan just a little bit more measured, but still competing and getting the job done.
Yeah, Bailey going straight at him there, just shooting that last one through.
It's a good start from the British athlete. We have seen big swings in points throughout this competition.
Yeah, they've met a couple of times previously. I'm not sure how much we can really read into that, though. It's 6 years ago now, a couple of meetings at the big tournament, the Beirut Open. They met in the singles and the teams events there. Yan won both of those matches. Of course, that was before Bailey won the gold medal in Rio. It's a number of years ago now. A lot of water's gone under the bridge since then for both.
Push long from Yan. Good amount of topspin from Bailey, who at the moment is besting his first game.
Yeah, Yan there just looking for timing on the forehand drive. Seen that now. It's a couple of times. Sent it long. And again. Hasn't got the timing quite right yet there. He's feeling for it, searching for his forehand drive.
Bailey will certainly look to take advantage. Bit tentative, really, from the world number 1. And he's in a spot of bother in this first game. First to 3, of course, in the Paralympics.
Yeah, it's better acceleration that time. His backhand's been the steadier of his two wings in these early stages. So still just looking for the feeling, shot quality on the forehand side, Yan. It'll come. It's where he does most of his damage, where he's been doing most of the damage through the week against his opponents.
Wonderful change-up in speed.
Yeah, and direction as well. Just coming across the contact point, Yan, there.
That's a good comeback from Bailey as well. Just spinning that one past the blade of Yan's racket.
Towel down, of course, allowed after every 6 points. That's what Bailey's taking advantage of here. Second towel break.
He'll just use that band to secure the racket. You're allowed to do that in Paralympic table tennis. You're allowed to have that bound to your hand.
I think the problem for Yan here is because he's missed a couple of forehand drives now, he's becoming a little bit more just trying to make the shot, and that's not, if you're going to get it done here.
Well, the speed of Jan when he gets it right is a challenge, but Bailey, it's coming back. And Jan has to defend 6 game points. That's gone long. That's great defence from Bailey, because Jan was playing his A game in that point. But it wasn't enough. And Will Bailey takes the first game, 11-4. Well, we thought it would be tight, we thought it would be technical, but Bailey has got the job done in the first game very nicely indeed.
Yeah, he's played from the off here. A little bit disappointed from Jan's perspective. He can do much better. He's got time, of course, to build into it, but that wouldn't have been part of the script for him to lose the opening game 11-4 like that. The tone was set, really. He struggled with his forehand. And that's what he'll be discussing with his coach here, trying to make more balls at the moment, because however well Bailey played, he did get a lot of gifts from the Chinese man in that first game. He's clearly got to try and tighten up that area of his game if he's going to get involved in this gold medal match.
There's a case in point. Should have made that one onto the court, but couldn't. Time to reset. First game is gone. Let's worry about the second one, I'm sure is what the coach will have been telling him. Certainly has the tools. Just the second game of this tournament that he has conceded. But it is the final. It is the gold medal match. It is going to be tough. Again, tentative from Jan.
I think there's something to be said here as well, the way Bailey settled in. Wondered whether this stage early on, I mean, the physicality of his semi-final, the amount he had to put in, not sure it's really a factor at this point. He's just going on adrenaline. But there's something to be said for the occasion as well. And this is the biggest stage in the sport, without question. And, okay, this man has been dominating the last 2 to 3 years in this class, in the big tournaments they've been able to play. But Bailey has the experience, of course, not just of winning the gold 5 years ago, but of course the experience in London of reaching the gold medal match. 3rd time in a row he's in this situation in the Class 7 gold encounter, and that experience is massive. Still, first time Jan's been in this position.
That's better from Bailey. He was outplayed the last 2 points. And he's laid down a marker again. He had to work hard for that. It kept coming back from Jan.
Yeah, no, it was a high-quality rally, actually, from both. Really good push exchanges. A little chop block from Jan as well. But it didn't really carry enough bite. Got to concentrate on keeping that ball nice and low, Jan. He's giving Bailey opportunities. Again, there it's into the slot, into the strike zone. Has to play with a bit more backspin here, Jan.
Six points, transfer the towel. Sometimes practical, sometimes tactical. If you want to get on with the game, you probably will not want to take the towel break. But Bailey happy just to take that pause. Looking good in this second game at the moment, but it's a very tight affair. Could all change. Bailey trying to keep it on Jan's backhand, didn't work.
Yeah, and he's not getting as much joy out of there as well. Jan's able to kind of stand and deliver very, strike down on the ball, take time away from Bailey. Doing that there.
What a return that was. Goodness me. Speed of hand from Jan.
Yeah, it's the acceleration. So impressive. Again, taking time away from the British player. So little reaction time, Bailey, there on that third ball.
And yet there's still a cushion of 3.
Yeah, this score is incorrect there. Bailey acknowledges that as well. Just a lead of 1.
Oh, got lucky. The apology from Jan. Did very well to stay on the point, Bailey. Fighting hard. Jan, you feel, just starting to find his rhythm.
Billy Shilton there, of course, did so well on his feet there under the Paralympics GB team. Makes such a difference, yeah, and he can feed off it as well. I mean, both of them, because, of course, haven't got the spectators in here, but the teams now in real number, as you were suggesting, because we're at the end of the events, getting behind Bailey and Jan respectively here does create something of an atmosphere.
You can hear the shouts of encouragement from the seats behind where Bailey is playing. There is a Chinese contingent as well. At the moment, it's the British athletes supporting Bailey who will be the happier of the two. But Bailey might have opened that one up a bit quicker.
Well, he's dropped too short in the table there. I mean, it's time there for Jan to accelerate through the backhands. And he's got to concentrate on keeping that length. He's done that very well so far. Vary it as well. I mean, he's gone deep there and then slightly shorter. And the Brit is keeping Jan guessing. See there, the problem for Bailey is there. He's on the initial attack, but everything is pretty samey. That's something that he's not done so far. He's mixed it up well, not just in terms of the placements, but also the shot depth. That kind of played that rally into Jan's hands a bit more.
And that return wasn't good enough either.
Yep.
And Jan is level.
No, you didn't read the spin here, really. Just popping up, you can see off the rubber. It really can turn around quickly. I mean, we said that throughout the event, the nature, the format. They'll know that, the Chinese support. Trying to push through with the backspin, Jan, just didn't get the purchase.
Yeah, launched out of the arena. And the ball is back. Bailey is ahead. That's great defence.
Yeah, a little bit of a chop block as well, just coming across the contact point there, Jan, with the spin. Very good strike. Good control about it as well. And again, really, I mean, you can see the tactic here coming across the contact point into Bailey's backhand side.
Massive point. And it means Jan has a chance to level things up here in this gold medal match. And it's gone long. And celebration in the face of Bailey from Yang Xiu. After a poor first game, he's edged the second, and we're all level at 1 apiece.
Yeah, it was never likely to continue this way. I mean, Bailey would know that. He's got full respect. You know, Yan Shuo here, #1 in the world. I felt maybe a little bit tentative, maybe a bit of nerves to start with on his forehand side. But what we saw in that second game was really clever point constructions as it wore on. Talked a couple of times about coming across the contact point as well on the backhand side, trying to play more into Bailey's backhand, drawing errors or drawing easier opportunities to attack off the forehand. That's really what he didn't have in the opening game, because Bailey started so well, wasn't getting opportunities like that to tee off, if you like, drive through the forehand. They were much more difficult for him to work with. But what he got in that second game is he's able to get easier opportunities to get his forehand into play. And it's a big part of why he's back in this match now.
One apiece then. This is the third game. Span away from him. Little look at the table from Bailey.
Yeah, what Jan has got now is he's got his forehand starting to fire as well. Look at previously in that point, he's able to build some form with that shot in the second game of the match. Looking to take that on here. And that's a beautiful flick. It really is just used to the wrist for him as well to find the angle here from Jan. This is a quality shot.
Momentum certainly switched around to the Chinese athlete.
Well, he's not hitting through as easily now, Bailey. That's his problem. It's got to be that good, and the defense from Jan, very good again. One too many, but it's much more difficult for Bailey here at this stage now to hit through the Chinese.
Word from the coach on the way back to serve. Yeah, little pause for the towel down. Will Bailey will not be disappointed to just disrupt the rhythm of his opponent. Keeps coming back from Jan, doesn't it?
Yep.
Bailey having to work hard.
Yeah, he's having to play a couple more balls now. That's the problem. You can see he's just forcing here, Bailey, a little bit on the last backhand, trying to find extra depth, pace, angle. Yeah, he's got problems here, Bailey. If he's obviously that far away from the table fishing, and you've got Jan now teeing off on forehands. It's going to be difficult for the Brit. Deadly, that shot, as we've seen through the event.
Coach is very loud in the Chinese corner, getting very excited. Oh, and the hand's gone up from the assistant. I think there was a hand on the table.
Yeah, that's not permitted. Just need to keep that surface, of course, bone dry as well, not just observing the COVID protocols, but of course moisture very, very much the enemy and the athletes here. I mean, that's just brilliant defence from Jan, you have to say. I mean, Bailey surely thought that point was his.
Well, what a game this has been from Jan. Lost the first one 11-4, squeaked the second one, in charge of the third. And that is a fabulous game from Jan Xiao. He really dominated, and Bailey has a few problems here.
Yeah, just a few. Because, as we've been suggesting, Jan has improved all elements of his game now, starting to fire. And this is tricky for Bailey here. First few points of this fourth are massive for him to try and get a bit of scoreboard pressure back in his favour, because Jan is just troubling him. We're not seeing Bailey as an attacking force as he started the match, really. Now he's spending a lot of time away from the table, being pushed back in a defensive role. He's not getting much as well. Remember the first game where Jan was leaking errors on his forehand side? That's not happening right now. Very consistent, solid, the world number one. He's looking good here.
Bailey's job is to compartmentalise game 3, put it behind him, worry about the next one. He's got to win it to take it to a 5th game in this gold medal match. Asking his team of supporters behind him to just make a bit of noise for him. He feeds off it. I think he's one of those who finds the empty seats difficult. And that is not the way to start when you're under pressure.
Yeah, the first few points, which you make absolutely valid here in this atmosphere. Bailey's got to find something. He's got to dig in through these first few points. At least stay with Jan here. He's got to look for another really big effort. He had a big effort, of course, to win his semi-final. Put it mildly.
Better, much better from Bailey after that poor serve to get us underway. 2 very good points.
Yeah, it's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Yang just backed off there for whatever reason, trying to tease Bailey into an error. Didn't come. Of course, they're going with the chopping away there, but it didn't really carry enough bite.
And Bailey, good game management as well. Took his time, waited until he was ready to go from defence to attack. 3-1 up in this 4th game. And that's so much better from Bailey, repelling Jan's attack and then coming back. Pendulum swings again.
That's just super defence from Bailey. He is digging in here, finding something, because he was under pressure in that rally, no question. Just able to keep himself close enough to the table here, Bailey. That's the difference. Wasn't really pushed back there. And therefore, he was able to gradually transition forward. That's the difference from the 3rd game, where he was being pushed back, well back from the table by Jan. There, even defensively, he was able to counter because he kept better position relative to the table.
Enthralling gold medal match here. Once again, Jan, his radar seems to be on the blink.
Yeah, it's tough because it's outside, from outside the line of the table he's contacting there. He's got to bring that back in around the outside of the ball, as well as bring it up and down. He's done well there, because that was into the elbow area from Bailey. Made that little adjustment to his side well, Jan, creating the space.
What a return, what a return from Jan.
Yeah, read the service. Makes such a difference, just able to make that fractional move across to make the receive.
Jan again. Well, I suppose you could call him the Great Wall of China in that point. He was definitely bringing everything back that Bailey threw at him.
Yeah, more than that as well. Real aggressive presence. His forehand side. Timeout has been called, isn't it?
Well, the momentum was very much with Bailey. It's gone back towards Jan in this 4th game. You can see why the timeout was called.
Yeah, it's the main way. Nothing wrong with it in the sport, of course. You have one timeout. Each player is allowed per match. You've got to think about when you're going to use it, but it's used most of the time to break momentum that builds up, because the sport is all about momentum, about runs of consecutive points, which is what Jan was starting to do there. So just looking to break the momentum here, the British bench. as a result. That's no problem with that. Get asked a lot of questions about that. Okay, surely that's illegal. No, it's absolutely permissible within the sport, but it's when you can use that timeout, because you have only got the one per match, and they've decided to go with it here in this fourth game.
Well, Bailey will be looking to get back into that sparkling form earlier in this fourth game. Of course, Jan has the serve, so there's a slight advantage here as we resume.
Yeah, it's a good point you make that, actually, calling the timeout, using the timeout actually with Bailey, then not serving as a result, because that's often, I suppose, theoretically, when you would want to call the timeout, because you can visualise the point to follow. But to be fair, it's worked out okay for him there. If you'd asked him beforehand, I'm sure, when they called the timeout, take one of the 2 points and receive, probably would have signed off on that.
Bundle of energy, isn't he? Bailey taking a tower break. Yeah, not that bothered. Got unlucky, Bailey. A very strong net call came back his way.
You have to give Jan credit here, though. At the same time, push back initially, keeping that ball on the table. The backspin receive there. Looking down at the rubber there again, Jan. Some moisture got on it, just drying it down, because that really did fizz off the rubber and get the purchase that he wanted.
And how momentum changes back to within a point. Crucial part of the game here. And, umpire just pauses proceedings. Bit of moisture on the side of Jan. Can change direction of the ball. Moisture, not, as you say, not the player's friend, really.
Yeah, it's sweaty work under the lights there, not that it bothers Jan. This is a beautifully constructed point. Look at the acceleration again with the arm. And Bailey's there waiting in his forehand corner, but the shot quality is just too good.
And from behind, was it 6-2? He's now getting himself, nudging himself ahead. Big point, this one.
He tried to throw in the faster serve, the longer one, but it was picked by Jan. He's got good range out to his forehand there. Saw it coming.
So then, 2 match points for Jan. And he has done it. What a match that was. And, well, Jan, it has to be said, dominated after the first game and is the really deserving recipient of the gold medal. For Bailey, not another gold medal after his triumph in Rio, a second silver medal at the Paralympic Games for the man from Great Britain. But Yang Shuo, goodness me, what a masterful display from him.
Yeah, no, he did really well. Yang Shuo underlines his status as the best in this class in the world, in the Class 7, winning the gold medal for the first time. He did extremely well, because I think he started the match a bit nervously. Understandably, this is the biggest stage in the sport, but he really improved from there. And yeah, underlining his status really in terms of what he's been doing in recent years, but this is a different level of competition. And I mean, to come back after that first game where Bailey started so well and win it in 4, some achievement from the Chinese man there, you've got to say.
I love the fact that the coach is about 10 times more excitable on the surface than his charge, but obviously he will be delighted. Bronze in Rio, of course, the 26-year-old, upgrade to the gold medal here in Tokyo.
Serious
well deserved
upgrade
as well.
Serious upgrade as well for him. I think a word for Bailey at the same time, though. the fact, obviously, he's in the finals here. Yeah, okay, disappointment. He hasn't managed to defend his title, but you've got to look at what Will Bailey's gone through over the last few years. Wondered whether he'd actually be able to be back to defend his title. Let's not forget that. I think, to be honest, if these games had taken place in their original slot, I mean, he's quite open about that. He was quite open about it. He's not sure he would have been able to compete. So he's been back here. He's really enjoyed himself. The semi-final lives along in the memory, saving the match point. And it's a serious achievement to come back here, everything he's been through, and win another Paralympic medal.
Absolutely. I spent the COVID time raising money for Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital in London, where he received treatment for cancer as a child. Of course, he had that serious knee injury, an ACL injury, after hurting himself in the British Strictly Come Dancing TV programme. It took him 6 months to come back. And, well, he is a man of character, so he will be delighted to have another medal. 2 silvers to his name now, the gold from Rio as well. And a couple of team bronzes as well. But in the end, the stats don't lie, do they? Yeah,
no, Jan turned them around very well, actually, because you look after the first game where Bailey started so well, only lost 1 point on his service in the first game, then was under more trouble from then on. You look at game 3, Bailey actually didn't win a point on his serve there, lost 6. So it's really where it turned round. Jan, as we said, started to get his forehand more into play, was just more effective, because the first game, I mean, Bailey started very well there, was giving him all sorts of problems, but in the end, to close him out in 4 is, yeah, it's some achievement.
Gold medal then to that man in a really dominant performance. The world #1 is now the Paralympic champion. Yan Shuo of China takes the gold. Will Bailey with the silver.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the women's singles class 4.
皆様、ただいまより女子シングルスクラス4の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
The medals will be presented by
メダルの贈呈は
Dr. Lin Chi-hung, Deputy Director General of Sports Administration, Ministry of Education, Chinese Taipei.
リン・チェハン、チャイニーズ台北教育部体育所副所長。
Accompanied by
続きまして、
Mr. Kimura Koji, Councillor of the Tokyo Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
木村浩二、東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会評議員。
Bronze medalist, representing People's Republic of China and representing People's Republic of China.
銅メダリスト、中華人民共和国および中華人民共和国。
Gu Xiaodan and Zhang Miao. Silver medalist, representing India.
銀メダリスト、インド。
Bhavinaben Hasmukbhai Patel. Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing People's Republic of China.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオン中華人民共和国
Zhao Ying. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
皆様、中華人民共和国国歌の演奏です。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic medalists.
皆様、パラリンピックメダリストです。
So, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our finals very shortly. We have the women's singles Class 8 gold medal match. People's Republic of China against People's Republic of China.
今大会でも中国勢が本当に力を発揮しています。表彰式でも4つのメダルのうち3つ、今回も中国勢でした。この後の試合もそうなんです。女子シングルスクラス8決勝戦、対戦カードが中華人民共和国代表対中華人民共和国代表となっています。
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the women's singles Class 8 gold medal match.
女子シングルスクラス8決勝戦選手入場です。
Representing People's Republic of China,
中華人民共和国代表
Mao Jing-Dian.
So once again here for another gold medal match, this time in the women's singles Class 8, all Chinese affair here. With Mao Jing-Dian, of course, the double defending champion in this class, very much the woman to beat in Class 8 play, to take on her protege in many ways. Huang Wenjuan here, one in the world, #1, very much. That has been the case for the past few years for Mao Jing-Dian to take on the woman who's maybe going to look to succeed her. Maybe will succeed her here. Definitely in years to come, you feel 16-year-old Huang, her fellow Chinese.
It's always interesting, isn't it? When we look at information about these players, they always like to say, who's your hero? And of course, Huang said, oh, my hero is actually the person who I'm facing across the table today. And that's always a weird sensation, I'm sure. Someone they've looked up to, have admired, and now are looking to depose.
Yeah, it could happen. Of course, this is an opportunity. It's a long shot, to be honest, in terms of, well, you can look at everything in terms of the numbers, relative progress through to this gold medal match, because Mao, for many years now, you just look 17 major gold medals overall, including, of course, the last 2 Paralympic Games. Huang, part of the Asian Championships, Asian Para Championships gold medal winning women's team, China women's team at the 2019 edition, but doesn't have that sort of resume yet that Mao has managed to amass over the last few years.
Although, to be fair to her, she's 16, so it's coming. And Mao is only 26, and she's, like you say, achieved so much already. I don't think at 26 she's ready just to retire gracefully and let everyone else take the titles. And look at that. Just nobody able to get a game against her.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge, isn't it, to get beyond 20 minutes with this woman at the table, and yeah, maybe try and win a game. Maybe Huang can do that. Her progress through to this stage, of course, dropping a few more games along the way, but still massive achievement for her to set up this match on what is her, as you say, Paralympic debut. The 16-year-old, huge talent that she's got. Just see how she shapes up with the challenge here today of the gold medal match against her idol.
Yeah, it's mentality, isn't it? Just a quick shout out to our umpires. Michel Hermans of Belgium is the man in the high chair, and across the way is Tomoko Fukuda from Japan. But yes, it's I wonder whether mentally Huang will be able to, looking at her hero, just be able to mentally say, no, I can do this, I'm superior, I can play better, I'm not in awe of her at all. It'll be interesting, fascinating. First few points, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, no, because she's definitely got the ability, if she just kind of just plays the occasion rather than the opponent here. Easier said than done, of course, but if she can do that, then we could be in for a good one. In terms of the head-to-head between the two, predictably, of course, both the previous meetings going the way of Mao. She hasn't dropped a game. They met in the finals of the China Open, both of these meetings in 2019. Won that 11-6, 11-1, 11-9. And then at the Asian Para Championships, big event, of course, Mao winning that once again, winning that 11-5, 11-6, 11-7. But of course, at that time, Huang just 14 years of age.
She started at 7 in Dongguan, and it's interesting, isn't it? The Chinese have a very good scouting system at the Olympic level, and at Paralympic it would seem the same, but it was a chance meeting with a coach who just said, why don't you give it a go?
Game, 1 to serve, love, all. 1, love.
Class 8 action here, the gold medal match in the women's singles. Mao Jingdian, the 2-time defending champion, taking on a compatriot here, Huang Wenjuan.
Love, 2.
Mao an overwhelming favourite, of course, but Huang, the 16-year-old, up against her idol, taking the first couple of points here.
Love, 3.
What a great start. We were wondering before it got underway, would she be overawed by the occasion, by the opponent? It would appear not.
3, 1.
Yeah, first to the strike there. Decent start, she suggests, not looking overawed here early on. So important for her to make this sort of start. Just to get settled as well into a huge match for both, but Mao obviously with plenty, much more experience of these gold medal encounters. But for Huang here, a good start.
2, 5.
And Mao just trying to push things on a little bit too soon. Yeah. Went for the big one, didn't get enough rotation perhaps on the shot.
5, 3.
You'll notice there's no coaches there either, and that's the Chinese policy. I mean, they're so used to having 2 Chinese athletes in finals that they won't have a coach for either.
5,
They can call their own
4.
timeouts and sit and ponder their own thoughts.
Yeah, the timeouts are going to be fascinating as well, because even more so than ever, it's going to be about trying to just break momentum that's been built up. It's not really going to be anything tactical, as you say, because you don't have that conversational opportunity. It's still going to be useful as a cause of breaking momentum if the game is tight.
6, 5.
Turn around now. Mao coming back into this match, into this first game.
5, 7.
And just a little tentative from Huang.
6,
That's a lot better. It's a lot of, we talk about the moving parts of a serve, but for Huang, a lot more. She flicks the ball up with one hand and then has to get that hand back into the crutch, ready to play the game. And the point.
8, 6.
Yeah, it's 5 points in a row just prior to it being snapped there. That's what's turned this first game around for Mao.
8, 7.
I tell you what's also interesting, of course, 2 Chinese athletes, it's deathly quiet. The Chinese are here, but they're not supporting one or the other. Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, it's really good from both. Changes the direction, the movement as well, extremely good. But what Huang was able to do here was stay on top of the bounce at the table.
It's a very, very tight game, isn't it? This is a crucial point.
10, 8.
It's a good receive, loaded with chop, with backspin into the forehand of Huang to bring up a couple of game points for Mao.
10, 9.
A little bit tense there, a bit tentative with the push.
2 serves and she didn't get either of them.
2 clear point winning margin needed here. Wow!
Well, forehand, backhand, both were impeccable, and it gives her a game point.
Didn't expect this from the last, not so much that point there, but the points that Mao played on her service at 10-8. Pretty tentative.
11,
Back to business.
Well, and played it wide as she possibly could, just to get it out of the reach of Huang. Sat up nicely for her, but she still had to put it away.
11, 12.
We'll buckle in for a long one by the looks of it.
Well, if Huang could get this first game, could set things up very nicely.
And she's done it,
yeah.
Oh, my word.
First game that Mao has dropped the double defending champion in the draw here in Tokyo. Huang Wenjuan takes the first game, saving 2 game points along the way, 13-11. Is there a huge shocker in store?
Well, you know, she was crisp in that point. She was confident in that point. And that will set her up. Doesn't need a coach to tell her how well she played in saving 2 game points and just getting the momentum back. Mao, well, goodness me, she started poorly. That's what cost her the game, really. But as she went on, she started to look really sharp. And how she managed to let that slip, well, we'll tell you how, with 2 very poor service.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but still at 10-8. Obviously, she's got them on her own service. That's really where she's lost the game. I mean, she played them very tentatively. It's the first game she's dropped in the tournament. Of course, it's the first game that Huang has won against her idol in this their 3rd career meeting as well. The 2 previous matches were 3-0 for Mao. So, yeah, it's a long way to go here, but real sign of progress.
Yeah, I think that's as much mental as anything. Now she's 16.
To serve, love all. Love
Oh.
1.
If you think of the development from 14 to 16, you know, in your own skin, you'll be a lot more comfortable.
It's the intent as well. I mean, that's a good miss in a sense because she's on the close to the table again. It's the way she started the match as well. And you referenced that. Okay, how would she play the first half of the opening game? The way she did that, I mean, she wasn't overawed, just looking to embrace the occasion. She's great to see because she could have easily gone in. Okay, I'm playing my idol here in a gold medal match and been all nervous. Wasn't really any of that.
Just been a little bit off song in the last couple of points. We'll need to make sure that 2-point gap doesn't get too wide.
Yeah, it's 4 points in succession now here for Mao to turn this match around.
That's better. A lot of topspin from Huang, and Mao just unable to tame it. It's a very watchful point. Both players waiting for somebody to make a move.
Well, watchful's a good way of describing it, actually. I mean, Mao here is just looking to build away. I'd suggest seeing a bit of a build away more into points than she normally would.
5-3.
Trying to bide her time for an opportunity. Just looking to make more balls.
What a return that was. It was laced with topspin, and she just flat batted it back. Invited the mistake from Mao.
Kind of a quizzical look from Mao there again. Sort of forehand. She set the point up well enough that she wouldn't normally thinking she'd miss.
4-6.
Yeah, the look at she was following the ball, almost affronted that it hadn't hit the table.
Just trying to fade across there on the receive, go with a little drop and underline. She's still not completely feeling the ball the way she'd like here, Mao. She's having kind of grind through this game.
That's what champions do, though. And somehow she's in a 3-point lead. Not her normal fluent self, I think it's fair to say.
She's getting a few more mistakes now in this game from Huang, but I think from Huang's perspective, she's got to continue to play that way. That's what's got her in front. More mistakes now, not with the accuracy of the opening game.
Yeah, just took a touch of the net on the way through. She's got to be continuing to be in Mao's face, but it does come with risks, of course. Oh, and that's the second serve that she's just thrown away in this game.
Yeah.
And it's 5 game points as a result.
Pushes long, and Mao Jingjian, the defending champion, levelling this up. She'll feel more content about things now, taking the second game here 11 points to 5.
Yeah, certainly Mao. Well, I think in a way it was she just kept playing her normal game, and it was Huang.
She's not firing on all cylinders. I mean,
No.
you referenced that about champions, what they can do. You feel like she was just kind of managing the game there, get herself into the match, maybe feel a bit more confident with the scoreboard back in a better position, and therefore give herself the platform to improve her level of performance, because it's not quite at her usual level yet.
I think the whole game, game 2, was a little bit under par, a little bit underpowered, a little bit underwhelming for a gold medal match, but certainly I think that was partly due to Huang just not being able to find her rhythm after a really good first game. Both these players know they've got to step it up a little bit. Chinese coaches in the stands rather than next to their charges.
Third game, Huang to serve, love all.
Third game beginning here of a possible 5 between these two. Of course, know each other so well. Mao having really tutored Huang over the previous few years in her rise in the game. Of course, ranked 5 in the world, Huang Wenjuan, at a career high rank in the Class 8. And you talked a bit, didn't you, about the scouting system, but also as well when you've got someone like Mao Jingdian there at the head of the rankings, because it encourages other players to come through, because she can play that tutor's role with the younger talents in the class.
Just drifting along. I mean, the thing, perhaps a problem for both these players, if they would have practiced against each other ad infinitum. They know each other's game inside out.
1-4.
And Mao just starting to ratchet it up a little bit. That forehand is starting to fire.
Yeah, brushing up the back there, and then a bit flatter into the elbow, which is where you want to go, the opponent. Yeah, it's just the forehand now. She's getting more opportunities. I think that the issue is, good point you make about them knowing each other's games, is Mao normally with her consistency moving the ball around the table. Huang knows her patterns, so it's been harder for Mao to generate openings with the forehand, but she's just starting to do that now. It's brilliant. Just flicks that away on top of the bounce.
And I think she is looking to move Huang as much around the table as possible. Make her work.
2-7.
Better from Huang, faster, more precise. Serve was good.
7-3.
2 really good serves, that's what she needs. Might be a little too late in this third game. She won't be too worried about that. It was the right option, just couldn't quite get the top spin right.
You're absolutely right. She's got to continue to attack when she gets the opportunities. There was one there. Yeah, that push receive there, sitting in the middle of the table. That wasn't good enough. You need more backspin.
That's a very poor shot from Mao. Still in control though.
Yeah, Mao is so good there, where she's blocking, she's pushing, and then lures the opponent. Is able to counter with the block. Does that so well. 6 game points.
10-5.
A little bit caught there though, in at the table. Wasn't able to put that away. Still 5 more game points. And that'll do nicely. Turning this one round, the gold medal match in the Class 8. The defending champion Mao Jingdian from a game down. Now 2-1 up, taking the third. Again, 11-5.
Looked good in that, didn't she? Pushing wide and then into the body. Working Huang over a little bit, really. And the master is teaching the pupil a lesson or two.
Master and the apprentice. I think we look at Huang as a little bit more than an apprentice, though, of course, having won major championship gold medals already. But she's going to have to go some here if she's going to win the gold here on what is her Paralympic debut. They will have to make do with the silver medal with how Mao Jingdian is shaping up now. Still not absolutely at her best, but on the improvement arc, on an upward curve, and closing in perhaps on a hat-trick of Paralympic gold medals.
They are here. They're just a little quiet. They don't want to disrespect either of their compatriots, but they'll be delighted that there is a gold and a silver for China.
Well, it's always the way, isn't it? I mean, for China in the sport, and you think of the Olympic Games, how they dominated over the years. The domination isn't quite to the same degree in the Paralympic arena, but still here, as you reference here, gold and silver guaranteed. A nation where this is the #1 sport. Excellent outcome.
1, 2.
This is them going with the backhand, the reverse serve there. There's too many mistakes now from Huang.
Oh, just took the net. When you're under the cosh, the last thing you want is to waste a serve, but at the same time, something a bit surprising, always worth a go.
Yep. She's got to take risks. She knew that coming into this. The opponent is just too good to be passive and just be content to push.
Look how much time she had to size that one up. What a lovely position to be in as a coach. And this is slowly becoming a procession.
That's why she's the best in the business here in this class. She's really in this game now starting to move through the gears, Mao. Brilliant point.
And on that point before, you know, mobility is obviously an issue in Class 8, and you can play on it. You play the angles, it does help. And she's exploited that. And I think that's why Huang has to stay close to the table, because once you're pushed back, you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
Well, she's getting back in touch.
Yeah, she's able to read the direction. Back on that point about them knowing each other's games so well, she's able to anticipate, and that's the difference. Staying close to the table, of course, you're taking your own time away to a degree, but if you can anticipate, then you're in a good position to counter. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing basically counter blocks a lot of the time from Huang rather than full swings, because she's so needing to stay so close to the table on the forehand side. She can't have a full forehand swing. Is able to counter block.
7-5.
Good service that time, nice and deep and into the chest of.
And that was the surprise she was trying earlier on in the point, wasn't it?
Yeah. Goes to the backhand service this time, Mao. That's beautifully done as well. Got the block receive that she wanted. So measured style of play.
She is masterful. 21 points won on her own serve to 14 of Huang at the moment. That's a big difference.
It's differential. She's really built them up. +6 on the differential, and Huang -6 at this stage. Yeah, good anticipation again. Nice forehand attacks. Huang equal to them.
Well, she's kind of hanging on the coattails at the moment, isn't she?
Quick your hand. Okay. 9-7.
Saw the side spin serve coming from the backhand side that time into a forehand. It was quickly across.
Normally, you wait 9-4.
Yeah, she wants the towel, but of course you're allowed it every 6 points, the multiples there. So she's got to wait another couple of points. Of course, she might have this done. It's got to be the target, because now it's 3 gold medal points here for the double defending champion.
8-10.
Choosing not to go to the towel here now. She will do. Here,
She's so wrapped up in the moment.
I mean, the funny thing is that's actually a good thing for her, though, having fluffed the first gold medal point, just to be able to draw a line under that, towel down, obviously, but just cause that break, because, of course, the services with Huang now. I think that's actually very timely for Mao here in her attempts to get this done. Not there, though.
10.
Is she feeling the pressure? She has been serene in the last couple of games, but everyone's human, you know.
Still one more. Match point. Yeah, it'll do it that time. And it is a hat-trick of gold medal successes here at the Paralympic Games for Mao Jingdian in the Class 8. She's still very much the queen of the division here, and she's seen off her protege, Huang Wenjuan. She dropped the first game, of course, but she's come back to win in 4 to complete 3 in a row here. It's time here at Tokyo 2020.
The flag is ready. And, well, perhaps the changing the guard may have to wait for another Paralympic Games, because she was imperious. Slow start for the 26-year-old, but, well, she certainly had the hex over Huang Wenjuan eventually. But whatever, if you're a Chinese supporter, then you will be absolutely delighted with the outcome. Gold and silver going to China. And although the coaches weren't in their corner, they were watching on, and another triumph for this table tennis loving nation.
Yeah, no, gold and silver already guaranteed, and as expected really, with Mao, of course, getting the better of the 16-year-old Huang, who can let out a few smiles now. They want to get some more pictures here, I think, as well. Some individual ones, of course, with the, once again, the gold medalist. Yeah, just felt she managed her way into that match, built her way in after the disappointment of failing to close out the opening game. Of course, she had the game points there, so this could have been straight games again. But in the end, a 3-1 success, responding from losing that first game to win the next 3. 11-9 eventually on her second gold medal point. Mao Jingdian, as in London, as in Rio, now this time in Tokyo, she is the gold medalist in the women's singles, Class 8 here at the Paralympic Games.
It's fair to say she's a legend of Paralympic table tennis.
At 26 years old.
26, so you never know how long is she going to carry on. I'm sure Huang would like to know as well, but she's going to improve as she matures, as she gets older. Just 16 years of age, of course. If we had the Paralympics last year, it would have been just a 15-year-old possibly in the final. Yeah,
to have a silver medal already, I mean, it's a serious achievement on her part. But Mao will receive the gold again. Of course, they'll partner up in the team event to come. That's all decided here now. So that just about wraps things up from the match action. Of course, the ceremony to come, victory ceremony here in the women's singles Class 8, but that wraps up the gold medal matches for this session of play here at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium.